Hi, ma'am. So sorry. Yes, I can hear you and I can see you.
I think it's my,
Right.
I don't know. Okay.
Okay. So
I
we're
had
going
to
live now
borrow
because
someone else's phone. Like, I don't know. I
already
think I need to
behind
update my
schedule.
group.
All right. So we're
No
already
problem.
live. Good evening, everybody. And you're
Okay.
welcome again
So I'm
to the
going to run.
Intentional Parent Academy Conference, right? And we have in the studio right now Chi, we call her Auntie Chi, and with the name 19 Chi. We want to apologize for the session, the starting session late. We truly apologize because our speaker had a bit of, an issue trying to actually log in, technical issues, but we're here now. We apologize and thank you so much for logging on and for staying on with us at the Intentional Parent Conference. All right, so we're going to be introducing our speaker. I will make it pretty fast because we're running short of time. Because at exactly 6 p.m., we're going to return here as well, having Kit Joes all the way from the US. So you stay here. We're running a marathon today, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, and 8 to 9. You don't want to miss any of the sessions. I want to assure you that these speakers are on fire today. And just like every other day, we have had these speakers on different issues, sharing with us. So today, I'm going to just read a bit about our speaker in the house so that we will get to know the person who is going to be sharing with us. She's going to be sharing with us on how to raise responsible teens in the 21st century. Chinemenma Umesake, fondly called Chichi or Auntie Chichi by her teenagers, is a foremost teenage coach in Nigeria. She's a coach to a lot of teen coaches in Africa through her masterclass training for team mentors and coaches. She's a 36-year-old wife and a mother of 4 children. She is married for 15 years and counting. Chichi is a teenage coach, and through her initiative, 19 Works has reached out to lots of teenagers in various states in Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, India, Togo. She's a blogger. She's an advocate. She's a promoter of everything teenagers, young adults, and even parents. Auntie Chichi is a journalist by training. She's a graduate of mass communication from Abia State University, Uturu. Okay, so one of the things that you want to know about Auntie Chichi today is that she has won several awards from various local governments, international organizations, include awards from the Lagos State Government, Service Award in Vocational and Leadership Training in 2016, and the Unseen Award from Initiative from the Change MRA Nigeria in 2017 for her contribution to the development of teenagers and young people in Nigeria. She is a sought-after speaker in different teen churches. She has spoken in different redeemed provinces, Salem, Foursquare, Anglican Church, to mention but a few. She has spoken in different private and government secondary schools, universities, and different youth organizations and different religious organizations. Auntie Chichi is the brain behind Teen One Day Governor in her state, Abia State. It's an essay competition that is highly competitive among the brightest of the secondary school students and freshers, with the winner becoming a sensation in the state. And Auntie Chichi, through her Teens TV talk show, hosted a summer special in August 2019, the first ever teens reality TV show in Africa, hosting 20 teenagers from different countries, different cultures and backgrounds, bringing them into the house for an exchange program. So we have in the building the foremost teen coach in Nigeria, Auntie Chichi. And if you have, you're very active and you're in the circle of the teen mentoring, you will know that Auntie Chichi has actually done so much. Yesterday we were speaking on how to bring value to entertainment. And this is one woman who has been able to bring value to entertainment for teenagers. Celebrating, ma'am, we're happy to have you here. So you have the stage. I'm going to be leaving the studio so that you're going to be speaking. So incidentally, we're going to have just 30 minutes before we get into the session at 6 o'clock. Thank you so much, and apologies for technical issues. Please, ma'am, your volume is having some issues, so we're having some background noise in your background. You need to want to deal with that. Right? Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm going to step out of the studio and leave the studio for you to speak.
Okay, hi everyone. Good evening. I'm sorry I'm coming in a bit late. Issues with technical stuff. But I don't know if you can hear me now. Okay, I want to believe that
loud and clear.
You can hear me. Okay. Okay, so my time, I think I have less than 30 minutes. So I'm going to rush my thoughts and the things I wrote down. So I'm talking about raising responsible teenagers who matter in the society, especially in this 21st century. I know, I mean, this conference has been on since Monday, so I don't think I need to lay emphasis on parenting, on raising kids and all that. I believe that a lot of all the other fantastic facilitators have done a lot of great job pertaining the theme of this conference. So I'm going to rush quickly to the points I wrote down. Raising teenagers in this century, in this time, seems like is one big task, because we've seen a lot of teenagers who are doing things in, like bringing a lot of bad names to their parents, doing stuff. And most times when I hear stories about, a lot of things going on in amongst teenagers, I kind of go back to ask, where are their parents? What are their parents doing? How did they get to this point? I mean, I believe that every child out there, they have a parent. They came in here. They didn't come to this world on their own. Someone brought them, and whatever they turn out to be, the bulk of it goes back to the parents. So every now and then I kind of ask, if I hear about Boko Haram, I say, is someone that gave birth to them? If I hear about someone that is doing drugs, is someone that gave birth to them? How did they get to this point where they are now a menace? They are now a problem to our society. They are causing havoc. They are doing things that we look back and we wish they were not born. Parenting, I believe, is the bedrock of everything. Family is the bedrock of everything. Parenting also, I would say, is the bedrock. If parents don't do what they are supposed to do, the society suffers. So yes, I would say parenting is key. And if we fail in that area, we would have failed woefully. So quickly, how can we raise responsible teenagers in this time and age? Number one thing I wrote down is we have to be able to give our children clear family values, spell it out. I realize a lot of parents don't even understand what a family values, let alone teaching their children what family values are. I don't think I need to, because of time, I may not be able to define, take time to explain it extensively. But the thing is, if a child does not understand what is obtainable in his or her home, he won't do better. If a child doesn't know that in our home we don't lie, in our home we don't steal, in our home we don't do certain things, they won't do better. That child will just assume that, this is how life is supposed to. Whatever he sees outside, whatever he sees on TV, whatever he sees on social media with the people that he's following, that he loves, he believes that. That's the main thing. That's the in thing. But if parents take time to teach their children values tied to their families, if a child goes out and sees, people are trying to pressure him into doing what he does, he will say, no, this is not how I was raised. This is not what my parents say I should do. So we as parents, we need to be able to give these children, I call it like a template. We should give these children templates to know how to operate. what can they do with themselves? How can they be able to understand what they are supposed to do or what they are not supposed to do? Family values are like giving someone rules and regulations, not like, it's not like but giving them templates to know how to operate inside the house and outside the house. Just like the Bible says, I know this is not a religious thing, but I believe we all have foundations. So if you're also a Muslim, I believe there are, places in your Quran that talks about laying foundation for our children. So for us, the Bible says, teach these children so that when they grow up, they will not depart from it. If you don't teach them, if you don't give them the necessary thing, they won't know what to do. Whatever they see outside becomes a template for them. Whatever they see that looks appealing to them, be it drugs, be it alcoholism, be it anything, it becomes appealing because they feel like, okay, this is the norm. Any trend that comes out, they go with it. So it's very important, number one, that you lay the right foundation. You give your children family values to operate on. Number two thing I wrote down is a lot of parents don't connect with their children. They are waiting for them to make mistakes so that they can correct them. No. Teenagers of this century, of this time and age, you need to be able to connect with them so that they can listen to you. I've seen parents talk about how their children are rebellious and all that, and I laugh. But these children can listen to Auntie Chichi, tell them, you're not going to do this, you're not going to go out today. Why will they want to listen to me like an outsider? It's because I have connected with them. I have this connection with them. So even when I tell them, please, I don't want you to do this, like I'm not forcing them. I'm just sounding them. Do you think if you do this, do you think you're going to be proud of this in 3 years from now? They would tend to listen to me because they feel like I have a connection with this woman. I don't want to break her heart. I don't want to lose her trust. I don't want to lose her friendship. It is not a bad thing for you as a parent to have that good connection with your kid. It's not a bad thing for you to have strong relationship with your children. It's not at all. So connect with your children before you can correct them. Once you have that connection with them, they would want to. I look at my 4 kids. I have 3 boys and a girl, and I see how much connection I have with them that there are times I tell them, you're not my friend. Like, I'm so pissed with you. You're not my friend. They literally want to just do whatever I say just to make sure that they are in my good books. It's connection. It's because I've connected, I've built that emotional bond with them. So for them, anything they can do to make sure that they are in good books with mom, they do it. Anything they know, I don't want to enter mommy's trouble. They will try to make sure that they don't enter mommy's or daddy's trouble. It's because of that connection they have with us. Number 3 thing is encourage your teenagers to find themselves. One of the things I tell parents, and it is a secret that I tend to give parents, is one thing to want to, yes, it's good for the children to go to school and all that, but finding themselves, no teacher, no school can help a child to find themselves. So if you want your child to become responsible and matter in the society at the long run, you need to help them, encourage them, teach them how to discover themselves. When a child discovers he or herself, they are not going to be pressured into doing what they don't want to do. Peer pressure is not their thing. There are certain things that will never be their thing because you know what, they know who they are. So even if you send them abroad or send them anywhere, they're not going to, fall for any trend or fall for any nonsense that are out there because they know who they are. So as a parent, you need to be able to help your kids to discover themselves very early. Don't wait until they are 18. Even before they are 10 years old, do that for them, help them. I know my kids, I've been able to help them to say, you need to find yourself. You need to know, what do you like? What don't you like? What are your weaknesses? What are these? I give them like templates just to help them to figure out who they are. They cannot be me. They cannot be daddy. They have their own individuality. They have their own uniqueness. Help your children to discover their uniqueness. That way, that child will be responsible for himself, not just for you, but for himself, for herself. They are doing it because they want to do this for themselves. So it's very important. Another point is teach your children life skills. We need to teach our children. I see a lot of parents, because you have money, you over pamper your kids, or you don't have money, you don't even teach your children what to do, how to do things. I mean, I tell people, I don't like to call them poor people, but I tell people, you don't have a lot, you are struggling, and still you are not training your children properly. That's double jeopardy. You're not giving them the necessary, the needs, that the things that they need, and you're also not teaching them what would sustain them when they leave your cover, when they are no more under you. So as a parent, you need to be able to teach your children life skills. I know you understand what I mean by life skills, like teach them how to keep home, how to do laundries, how to cook, how to do dishes, how to do, I mean, because they're not going to stay with you forever. That's why we see some kids, they are so irresponsible, they can't even pick pin because nobody taught them. Their parents did not teach them. Teach your children how to, I don't have time, I would have listed 15 things that your children must learn before they leave your house, before they live under your cover. And you don't need to wait until they're 18, like I said before. My kids, I have 3 boys, like I said earlier, and 3 of them can make indomie, they can make noodles, they can fry egg, they can do certain things for themselves, they can fry some things. I mean, I'm telling them, okay, so I sent my first son to school abroad in a friend's school, and he went just before he turned 10, and this boy was there for a year, but he was able to sustain himself because there are certain things we have taught him to do. So as parents, we need to be able to teach these children life skills, teach them what they should know how to do, so that when we are not there as their parents, they'll be able to sustain themselves. Another point is, I'm rushing now. I have less than 20 minutes. Another point is, we need to teach our children, give them freedom, and then make sure that they understand that abusing that freedom you've given them is not an option. So I talked about sending my first son abroad to school. We told him we are taking this chance because we actually asked him for, what we can get him for his 10th birthday. And he said he doesn't want to school in Nigeria. And we, not because we have a lot of money, but we just wanted to tell him that some things are possible if he believes and if he works for it. So he actually worked for it. He wrote a book and won award at the age of 9. And I felt, okay, so this boy is doing a lot. He's living purposefully. Let's do something for him. So when we asked him, and he said, I want to school abroad, we actually gave him that opportunity to school abroad. But we told him, if you abuse this, you go there and you start misbehaving, you join the wrong crowd and all that, you will lose that trust with us and you will never have it back. And believe me, that was one of the best things we did for him. So learn to give your children freedom, but also tell them that that freedom comes with them not abusing it. If they abuse it, they lose your confidence. So it's important we do that. The next point is, create a schedule with your kids. It is important that your children have that, they have time with you. I know that a lot of us are very busy. We don't even make out time. Even with the COVID, we are, everywhere and all that. Make out time for each of your children. Ask them what they are doing, the things that, they are thinking. I mean, if for my first son, he's doing coding, and sometimes he's just trying to figure things out. Even when I feel like I don't have answers, I get people to talk to him. I get people to direct him. He wants to hack. He needs to know, he will always say bad hack and the good hacker and the bad, I don't know which, but I get people to tell him, okay, talk to these people, let them direct you. So you need to be able to have a schedule. Let these children understand that you have time for them, not just for your work, not just for the things you are pursuing. Also tell them that they are your priority. Once our children understand that we make them our priorities, they also kind of, they get it right. They set their priorities right, and they see that family is very important, very, very important. Another point is, look for ways to make these children to be relevant. So what do I mean by this? If you teach your children to be to stop thinking about themselves every time and look for ways to volunteer, to give back to the society, it kind of leaves that sense of, I'm good enough, like I'm giving back to the society. So they are not paying too much attention on themselves. They are not focusing on themselves. Doing that helps our children a lot. I mean, your teenage child, a lot of them are at home. They don't even need to go, to join Red Cross or anything. Even online, there are things that they can do, learn their voices, I started a campaign where I have teenagers, they send in their pictures and they put their names and they say no to rape or no to this, no to that. I know how a lot of them felt being part of that. It just made them feel like they are doing something huge for the society. So get them to be useful, to be relevant to their community, to the immediate community. It could be your church, it could be your mosque, wherever you belong. Get them to do something for the local people around them. It gives them that sense of fulfillment, that sense of, like I'm doing something relevant, I'm doing something good, and it gives them that happy feeling. It's very important. Another point is be clear about consequences. So as you're giving them freedom, you're allowing them to do a lot of things. Make sure that you also tell them that every bad behavior comes with a consequence, and make sure that you stick by it. I've seen parents who are not consistent. So you tell your child that you're going to lose certain privileges for, watching pornography, for going to bad sites or doing this, and you end up relapsing, like you don't do anything. You are setting that child up for failure, because when they know that they can do things and get away with it, they will continue, doing whatever they want to do. So make sure that you have clear spelled out consequences, that if you do this, you will lose this, you will lose privileges, you will lose my respect, you will lose my trust, you will do this, you will do that. I believe in discipline. I don't believe in punishment. So you can look for best ways to discipline your children and not melting out punishment. Another point is teach them social values. And with what is going on in our society, we see a lot of things going on, and I wish parents can step up to teach this younger generation the importance of social values. And I'm talking about, I know, social values. I'm talking about like integrity, being honest, being needs, being, I mean, there are so many of them in the list. Let's teach our children. We see a lot of things going on with corruption in Nigeria. Is so shameful. Sometimes I'm wondering what is going on. Like, we have lost it, but I believe that we can we can recover some of these things with our younger generation, so that some of this nonsense going on in Nigeria will not repeat itself in years to come. We have to start now to teach these children the right social values. Teach them what it means to be civil. Teach them what it means to respect authority. Teach them what it means to, to do the right thing at the right time. Charity begins at home. If we don't teach them at home, it's difficult for the society to do that for us. Who is even the society? I mean, the teachers, even in schools, are not disciplined themselves, not to talk of you, allowing your children to be taught discipline as in their school. So parents, you need to do that for your children. If you want to raise responsible teenagers for today's world, you have to teach them social values. Another point is model the right things to our children. So a lot of parents will tell their children, do as I say, don't do as I do. It doesn't work that way. The children see first. So if you smoke and you expect your children not to smoke, I mean, who are you deceiving? It's very difficult. So you need to be able to model the right attitude, the right character, show the right things so that they can do that. I've seen a lot of parents, they lie on the phone, they are somewhere else and they're at home and they're telling people over the phone, I'm in church or I'm in the market or somewhere. And these kids are there looking and watching. What do you want them to do tomorrow when they start lying to you? You think you want to beat them, to stupor because they are lying. No, they're learning from you. So model the right values, model the right things, and you will get them to also do the same. The next point is validate their dreams. Most times we kind of try to trash our children's dreams. They are telling you, oh, mom, I want to do this. I want to be a dancer. I want to do this. Even if they end up not doing it at the long run, just validate those dreams and tell them, okay, no problem. So what are you doing to make sure that you keep doing that? Encourage them to, go out and, harness those dreams or whatever skills that they are telling you they want to do. Do not trash anyone. A child comes and say, I want to do this. You say, no, this is what I want you to do. Remember, you are not raising mini you. You are raising someone who is unique, they are unique in their own right. God has created them to be who they should be, not who you want them to be. No. So encourage them, validate their dreams, validate the things they tell you that I want to do this, validate it. And please don't ever make your children lose their self-esteem. A lot of parents are guilty of that. You make your children lose their confidence. You make them lose their self-esteem because you keep telling them how horrible they are, how bad. Even if they are not good at something, try to teach them, give them, find ways that they can improve on those things. And with time, trust me, if they're not supposed to do that, they're going to lose interest. But don't rubbish those things that they come and tell you I want to do. The other point is train them to be in this. Okay, let me make this the last point. The next point is teach them to embrace technology wisely. So a lot of, I see some parents that will say, I will not allow my children to use phone. But when they go outside, do you know that they use their friends' phones? I know teenagers that they don't have phones at home, but when they go out, they are watching pornography in their friends' phones. And it's because their parents are trying to shield them from something at home, but outside they're already exposed to it. So you need to teach your children how to embrace technology wisely. A lot of our kids at home, they don't watch TV, but they go to their friend's house and they're watching TV. They are playing games. And some games, though some of those games they are exposed to are very dangerous, are very deadly, or very, violent. So you need to be able to encourage. We have entered another new order, new world. A lot of things will not go back to norm, especially with the social media stuff and all that. With the technology, the world has gone visual. Who would believe that we'll have meetings like this online? But this is our new reality. So it's also going to be, a lot of schools are also going to move online. You need to encourage your children to embrace technology, but in giving them these smart things, teach them to use it wisely. Engage them, encourage them. We've talked about consequences, we've talked about giving them clear rules and all that. When you do that and give them the freedom to say, I'm going to trust you with this gadget. This is something very little, but don't break my heart when I give you this. When you equip them, even when they go out in the world and people are trying to bamboozle them with so many things, they will tell you, no, I know this, but I'm not interested in this. So it's important we do that, encourage them to embrace this, but let them use it wisely and judiciously. The truth of the matter is this technology is so small, but it's so powerful. It can make and unmake. If you teach them that they can even use this to become relevant in their society, we've seen a lot of teenagers who are very, relevant in the world. They are doing a lot. They are doing a lot for their world. They are doing so much in their chosen career. I'm talking about teenagers. I'm not even saying, adult teenagers who have become so relevant, so popular, just by using technology. We have the likes of Zurel Oduwole. She's a Nigerian, but that girl used phone to interview the president of Ghana, and from there she has interviewed over 25 presidents in the world. She's a Nigerian, but she has interviewed a lot of presidents, our own President Buhari, President Obama when he was in office, and a lot of other presidents, over 25 of them, just by using phone. She started with phone. Today, she has gone viral. She's a big person. She's United Nations ambassador, UNICEF ambassador, and a lot of other big organizations just by using this gadget. So teach them to embrace it, but let them use it wisely. My final point is, let's teach our children to be indestructible. This is the latest thing, and anybody that, even as adults, you can be indestructible. Like, what do I mean by indestructible? There's so much distraction going on. There's so much going on social media. But if you can train them to filter, to learn when to say, okay, this is not for me. They go and they are, on Instagram and they see certain things and they say, no, this is not for me. This is not, they are just, removing, they know, or they also know when to drop the phone, when to put off the devices, when they put off the technology to say, I need to read, I need to do something else, I need to be useful, I need to go and cook, I need to go and bake, I need to go and do this. You need to teach them to do that. That's what I mean by being indestructible. Teach them to know when to drop some of these things. And it starts with us parents. I see a lot of parents are even addicted to their social media. They are always on the phone, always on Facebook. What are you teaching those children? If you are always online and they see you online, they think, that's how life is. You wake up in the morning, even before you say your prayers, you're already online, you have logged in and you are scrolling. When they see that, believe me, they are going to do the same thing. But if you learn to be indestructible and you teach them how to be indestructible, we'll be able to raise responsible teenagers in today's world. Thank you so much. Madam Wendy for this time. I hope I managed. I tried to use the time wisely. I was racing.
Awesome, awesome. I could see that. I was wishing that you had a lot more time to actually share this.
Yeah.
I was the pointers were so relevant. Thank you again, Auntie
Thank you.
Chichi. Auntie Chichi
Thank you
has
so
just
much.
10 minutes to be able to take questions. If you're able to share questions, then we will take it in the next 10 minutes. Auntie Chichi fought through to be here. You don't want to know. Thank you so much. We don't take it for granted, ma. Thank you so much. All right, and
Thank
we're
you, ma'am.
having Kate Joes. Kate is
Thank you,
already
ma'am.
here. Kate Joes is coming on after this session at exactly 6 p.m. It's amazing how Kate has followed through with the sessions, even today that he's speaking. He's speaking in the next few minutes. Thank you so much, Kate. I appreciate you for being here. Chinyere Binna said, model the right things to them. Chinyere Binna also spoke on the second day. You will want to catch up with her session. All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. We appreciate you. I can't seem to see any questions yet. People just have raving accolades for you, Auntie Chichi, right in our YouTube channel. We have more viewers in the YouTube channel,
Thank you.
actually. And we have over 1,800, almost 2,000 people on our Telegram channel viewing directly on that spot.
Wow.
And we have people on Facebook also viewing. Someone says that was swift
Okay.
and powerful. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
Thank you
so
very much.
much for being here. That
Thank you very
was
much.
awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so I can't see any question, but I would like you to throw more light on something that is
Okay.
pretty very important to us in TIP Academy. All right. When you talked about connecting with the children. All right. A lot of people
Okay.
do not understand exactly what we say when we say you need to actually connect with your children. So when you say connect, can you share a few practical ways that parents can connect in the real sense of it, especially with teenagers? Now, not children. It's a different thing to be able to connect with teenagers and to be able to connect with are you there? To be able to connect with children. All right. So if you can hear me, can you please share with us? The parents can connect.
Okay. So
Especially with teenagers. Now, not children. It's a different thing to be. Okay, so I don't know if you heard my questions. I know that network booted you out. I just said you should share tips on
okay, I
how to
got that.
connect.
Yes, I
Okay,
got that.
awesome.
Mm.
Awesome. Awesome. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. So the thing is, every child has their love language. All our and even teenagers. There are times. I mean, my first son and my second son. My first son is going to be 12 this year. In August. The second one just turned 10. And I realized as they're getting, because I usually kiss my kids. I kiss them, mouth, like give them peck mouth. But these ones are a bit getting older. They will bring their peck. And one of the times I stopped, I ignored both of them, the older one, and I kissed her. And they got offended, like, why are you not kissing us? I said, I thought you guys have outgrown it. They said, never. Are you serious, mom? So that means they also need that love. That's also their love language. Every child has their own love language. Another thing is make sure that parents should always touch their children. What I mean by like hug them, you know, shake and give them pat on the back, give them high five. Some of these things that how you do with your pally. It's not just to have friends outside and you do that. Also do the same thing with your kids. I have handshake with each and every one of them, the four of them. I have different handshakes. That's way I connect with them. I also bond with them. There are times I'll say, okay, this is this person's time. Oh yeah, we'll go and we talk about things, just me and that person. And I understand how they are feeling. I'm also very sensitive that even when I ask my child, any of them, maybe they are frowning or and I say, what is wrong? And you say, I'm fine. I don't take I'm fine as I'm fine. I push until I get what is wrong. A lot of parents do that. Your child tells you I'm fine, and you just go off like, okay, okay, no problem. No, I dig deep, especially when, because I know their temperament, I know them very well. So that's me connecting with them. I understand their innate traits, their characters, their, their personalities. Let me put it that way. I know their personality. So when something happens to one, or there's a bit of change, or one is someone that is bubbly and all of a sudden she's withdrawn and she's quiet, I kind of push and do all or anything I can do to make sure I get information from her. So
Okay. Unfortunately, we've been booted out. Auntie Kiki, I guess network has actually booted her out of the studio. They are going to hope that she gets back into the studio and take these questions that have been up there. But as a way to recap, like we do in all our sessions, before she gets back here, as a way to recap, we're going to be sharing a few things that Auntie has shared with us today. Right? Auntie shared on how you can raise responsible teenagers in today's world. Right? So Auntie is back in the studio. Okay.
okay. So finally, I don't know if you heard the other points that I mentioned.
Yes, there's a question for you, ma'am. And the question is right
But
on the
the thing
screen.
is, parents should be able to.
Yes, so we want you to give a voice
How
to that
can
question.
you help a teen whose father is single and drinks? Okay, how can you help a teen whose father is single and drinks, and the teen is already stealing? So the thing there is, we can see that the father is not modeling the right. Like, I don't want to. He's not any disability whatsoever. It's just that he does not know how to handle himself. But I tell teenagers that don't let your story turn you into a sorry state. Don't think, okay, because my parents are not together, or I lost my parents, I'm an orphan, then you become a useless person. Whatever you do, you are doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for your parents. You're not doing it for anybody. You are living your life for you. So I try to encourage teenagers, whatever thing that you're going to do that would damage the future that you are looking forward to, then you should stop it. When you are stealing, you are setting yourself up to be shamed, to be disgraced at some point, because you can do this and get into the wrong hand and you lose, a lot of things will happen to you. So I try to get the teenagers to find themselves. When a child finds herself, his or herself, there are certain things they will never do. You are not looking at your parents. You're not focusing on anybody to make you to behave well. You are focusing on yourself. So if I get opportunity to mentor such a child, I would tell them to find themselves and start developing their innate abilities and the things that they are very good at. Once a child can do that and live their lives for themselves, I mean, adversity brings out the best in people.
All right. Thank you
As
so much,
regards
ma'am.
to
We
the
have
use of
another
technology,
question.
please, how do I ensure the teenager does not use?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'm trying to read that. Please, how do I ensure the teenager does not use tech negatively, especially when away from parental care, such as watching porn? So that was what I talked about, teaching our children to be indestructible in such a way that they know when to filter, they know when to say, this is not for me, boom, they remove it. That means you would have taught them values, family values. They also have to find their own personal values. If a child understands that my mommy will not, I always know, like, tell my children that if I catch you, I have internet, they have internet, I give them laptop phones. But if I ever get you watching things you're not supposed to watch, that's the end of it. I'm stripping you of every opportunity, every privilege you have. So I make it clear to them, and I tell them the consequences of watching some of those things. If you watch pornography, you'll be stuck. You'll be looking for ways to do that, and you can get in trouble by trying to just express yourself and explore. So I kind of tell them everything. So parents should not shy away. This is the point where she should also talk to them about sex education. This is the stage. I mean, if you are doing it at teen age, you are late. We start from 2, 4, 7. That's when we start talking about sex to our children. So you need to be able to teach them sex education from now. Let them understand the dangers of involving in porn and all those things.
All right. Thank you so much, Auntie Chichi. We have just a few minutes to get out of the studio, and we're going to round up because we have Kid Joes already waiting in the studio to get in so that we can have the next session. But this has been an amazing session with Auntie Chichi. And for someone that is asking age appropriate time for gadgets, we had a class on tech education, tech conversation. So you can catch up on day 2 on that conversation, and it will help you a great deal. So you can head over to our YouTube channel to catch up on the conference in the past 4 days. This conference has been explosive, has been amazing. We've had speakers from all over the world. One thing is unique about all the speakers that have come to this conference is that they have shared practical stories. I'm sure you also heard Auntie Chichi today sharing practical stories with her own children. So it goes beyond what you are, getting on Google. Like I say, these are not Google speakers. We brought you real life experience speakers who are sharing with you the things that they've practiced and how they've been able to get to where they are today. If you want to follow Auntie Chichi, you'll see her on Instagram as 19 Chichi. And she's actually in fact, she was one of the first teen coaches that I connected with, and started following, and she has an amazing drive for teenagers. Thank you for coming here, man. We don't take it for granted. We know you're pretty busy, yet you agreed to do it. One of the things that you would do for us in the TIP Academy is that, like I say, we didn't pay these coaches to be here. So one of the things that you can do for us is to go on your social media and rave over them. Type one thing that you learned from this session, tag Chinemenma Umesake, or you tag her at 19 Chichi on Instagram, and please publicize to the world what those people taught you today. Don't forget to tag the Intentional Parent Academy, or you tag Wendy Ologi. Do not forget to invite and share this video for your friends to see. However, only people who registered for this conference will get our freebies from all our speakers and also from the Intentional Parent Academy as well. We have a special ebook for actually the registered members from me, all right? And we also have our sponsors who have so much that they've actually given out as freebies for you to have access to. But you need to look for that link and register. If you're not on our Instagram channel, you can get in there so that you can get prompts as we go live in this session. You are watching TIP Conference 2020. And this was Auntie Chichi in the studio sharing with us on raising teens in today's world. This is TIP Conference, and this is powered by the Intentional Parents Academy. Thank you again, Auntie Chichi, and do have a lovely evening. Join me again immediately at 6, where we meet with Kate Joes, all the way from the US, where he's going to share with us how to raise responsible dads to raise wholesome children.